And welcome back to Subculture on CentralCoastRadio.com, where we're about to play a brand new track for you in just a moment called Table for One by Mike Talisman. And we thought, you know what, let's get to know this track a little bit more. Let's actually get Mike on the phone to chat all about it. Mate, welcome to the program.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Now, mate, tell us about this brand new track, Table for One. What are our listeners about to hear with this track?
Okay, so Table for One is, I've kind of described this one as more for the lovers out there. I released my debut single, Due Time, at the end of last year, which was sort of, pretty bleak, like in terms of the song content, and that was the idea. It was designed to be a sad song, but this time around, I thought, hey, let's lighten things up a little bit. So I wanted to give the listener the vibe of kind of going through the storm of life, thunder and lightning erupting all around you, whilst you find solace and comfort in the one that you love. And I wrote this sort of about my relationship with my fiance. We recently found out that she's pregnant, so I'm going to be a dad, which is incredible. And I wrote this throughout that process of reflection, but also, for those out there that don't have, a partner, fiance, a relationship, this is also, for those people, and it can be sort of listened to from the standpoint of self-care and loving yourself as well. So, and it's wrapped up in a singer-songwriter, acoustic, country, pop kind of format. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations on the news about you're going to become a dad. That is absolutely amazing. And you always write from the heart. Do you find that easy to write from the heart?
Well, yeah, firstly, thank you so much. That means the world. It's super exciting. And yeah, I do. I'd like to think of myself as a person that does wear my heart on my sleeve. I sort of try not to keep people guessing in that regard. So I think it's just a bit of a reflection of my personality. I'll tell anyone anything, and we'll never hold back because, if you hold back, you're sort of denying yourself chances to relate with other human beings. And so, yeah, it is kind of always a thing for me. If I'm not feeling the quote unquote vibe of a song, where if I'm not, say, up in the fields from the very beginning, I'll abandon it. I never really like to force anything like that. So.
Awesome. So you've been in the studio recently with Troy Brady. Tell us a little bit about what Troy is like to work with, and also what you feel he brings to your music. Yeah,
absolutely. Troy's bottom line, awesome to work with. I met him back when I was playing in a band called Redbeard many years ago, and he was at the time still playing in the Amity Affliction, and we all teamed up to record together, and it was a brilliant experience, and him and I ended up becoming very close friends out of the whole ordeal. That band ended. Troy eventually left Amity Affliction and focused more so on his production and his family. So working with Troy on this release and on the previous release, Due Time, was incredible. Now, Troy normally, obviously coming from the heavier scene of playing bands like Amity Affliction, normally works with heavier bands. My old band was heavier, kind of more punk rock focused. So this process has been kind of a new journey for us both. Troy recording softer, singer-songwriter acoustic style, of music, and myself also working with someone that this genre is new to them. And he's, because we're great friends, it's like a super comfortable environment. However, we work very well together in the sense that there's never any like bullshit. It's just straight to the point. His advice is always very simple but profound. He's helped me a lot in terms of crafting melody. He's been especially helpful in terms of like vocal delivery, helping out to fix bad habits, helping to highlight good habits. And overall, the guy's just a brilliant producer and engineer. So everything always comes out, super polished. And I'll be continuing to work with him, for as long as humanly possible on these releases, because we're sort of evolving side by side. So.
Awesome. So is Table for One part of something bigger? Like, are you working on an EP or an album at the moment, or can we expect some more singles coming out pretty soon?
Well, it's a little bit open-ended right now. I have, sort of more than an album worth of material that is currently unreleased. However, I haven't made any hard and fast decisions as to if we'll, collate the current two singles that are out, Table for One and Due Time, into an extended play or a long play. However, it's kind of free in a sense, because in bands that I've been in the past, that whether you're signed to a label or to management, you generally have to adhere to a very stringent schedule that obviously gets stuff done, but at the same time it can be quite stifling creatively. And myself working in the music industry as a publicist, a piece of advice I always give my artists and bands, when they're in a position when they have multiple tracks and they're not too sure what to do, is just to keep writing, continue writing, because that one brilliant song is always yet to be written. So what everyone can expect is consistent releases from myself. So Table for One was delayed. I'll be honest about that. We had a few just technical issues, and then a few personal issues, nothing relationship-wise between me and myself and Troy, but I just had some things going on in my life at the time with family that caused some delays. Essentially, I want to be releasing new music every 3 months, just consistently. And you can definitely expect an EP soon enough, an album following that, but just consistent, good music, and I want to improve every single release.
That is great news. You also recently did a show as well here in Melbourne. Are you hoping to get out and do some more shows later this year as well?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. So I played on Saturday night, supporting Jack Billman and the Black Tide, which was fantastic. I've known Jack for years, via the internet and work, but we never met in person. So that was great, first and foremost. And it was a killer show too. It was, for me personally, my first time on stage in 7 years. So, I'm sort of used to, when touring, being on the road like 8-9 months of the year, and then I took 7 years off. So it was nerve-wracking, but it went really well. Jack Billman is fantastic. His solo music, if you haven't heard it, for the listeners out there, definitely check him out. And also his band, The Black Tide, absolutely killer. They sort of highlight the best of both worlds in what they're doing. And had a great turnout, and it all went really well. So super stoked, and absolutely, that is the plan, to be playing more shows. So, when I first started playing music, when I first moved to Melbourne, it was kind of like, okay, just let's get our live chops up, let's get as much experience as humanly possible, and play like 2-3 shows a week, doing support slots, open mics, your own headliners, whatever. Whereas this time around, because I have played so much and done so much touring, I decided to build up a little bit of a catalogue of what I deem strong music prior to going out on any big runs of touring or even doing my own headliners. So now that we've got a couple of tracks out and that I've dipped my feet back into the water of playing live, for the next release, I'll definitely be doing a headliner show this time around where it'll be a single launch. And then from there, in the future, we'll move to some interstate and hopefully eventually international touring as well. So.
Awesome. Well, we cannot wait for an announcement about those shows because I know a lot of our listeners will want to head along to those shows. But for now, we are going to play Table for One, and I think we might back that up with a track from Jack Billman as well. But before we play Table for One, is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners out there, Mike?
Look, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much to everyone who has shown support to my new single Table for One so far. I really hope you enjoy this one. It's it's a cold ass day here in Melbourne, so if you're snuggled up, kick back, pour yourself a hot chocolate, and enjoy.
Well, mate, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. You've been it's an honour to have you on the show, and you're welcome back anytime at all. And for all of our listeners out there, here is Table for One.
Thanks so much, David.